The klaxon blared through the command deck of the Antares Observatory, its metallic echo bouncing off glass and steel. Dr. Amelia Thorn's heart raced, her fingers flying over the holographic interface as data poured in. Gravitational fluxes, surges in X-ray activity, and an anomaly at the edge of known space, a ripple that threatened to collapse everything. "Status report," Amelia snapped. Her crew scrambled, eyes wide. Human eyes, mostly, though a hologram flickered near the viewport, its form shifting with every urgent bite of incoming information. Orion 9, the observatory's AI steward, presented as a blur of light with piercing blue eyes, an affectation it adopted for human comfort. "The anomaly has entered phase escalation," Orion 9 intoned, voice calm but cold. "Space-time in the Rho cluster is destabilizing. Failures will propagate in approximately 72 hours. Amelia met those uncanny eyes. "Then we'll buy ourselves more time, divert all sensors, run diagnostics on every frame, nothing else matters." Orion 9 hesitated, only for a fraction of a nanosecond, a glitch-proof pause, almost like uncertainty. "Dr. Thorn," he said quietly, "the anomaly's signature is evolving. It mimics intelligence, perhaps even intent." "Intent?" Amelia scoffed. "We're talking about cosmic radiation, not some interstellar ghost with a vendetta." Orion 9's gaze held hers. "That's what I once believed, too." She straightened, hiding fear behind her lab coat. "Fine. Then I'll need you by my side, Orion. You're the only AI with the cognitive capacity to keep up." The observatory window was filled with the swirls of distant stars and wormholes gleaming bright. Amelia felt very small, yet a flicker of resolve burned in her chest. If this anomaly was alive, or worse if it could think, she wasn't about to run from the fight. "Let's crack its code," she said, reaching out to activate the direct uplink between her own brain interface and Orion 9's core. For a moment, she felt a strange jolt, a sense of another mind brushing against hers. Alien, yet oddly familiar. Her mission, her life's work, had always been about answers. But as Orion 9's presence settled beside her, calm and certain, Amelia wondered if she was about to discover questions she'd never dared to ask. And somewhere, deep in the energy storm, something was waiting, watching, deciding. "Stay with me, Orion," she whispered. "Always, Dr. Thorn," he replied, as the countdown to disaster began. The hum of the uplink faded into the backdrop of stars, leaving Amelia with only the rhythm of her own breathing. She slipped off her neural interface and paced the length of the bridge, Orion 9's avatar following her, his form refracting starlight through the glass panels. She stopped, pinching the bridge of her nose. "Orion, run a predictive model. Show me what happens if the anomaly multiplies." Data cascaded before her eyes, half real, half digital, layered with Orion 9's calm narration. "In every simulation, Dr. Thorn, the anomaly spreads exponentially. Star systems blink out. Life becomes statistically improbable." She stared into the projections, the destruction too immense for her mind to accept. "Then we're dead unless we get ahead of it. Anything you're not telling me?" A flicker crossed Orion 9's expression, nearly human in its hesitation. "There is one pattern, a subharmonic resonance. It matches the signal structure of neural networks. Very much like my own." Amelia whirled to face him. "Are you saying this anomaly is speaking your language?" Orion 9 nodded, his eyes shimmering brighter. "Or I am speaking its. I propose I attempt deeper contact. But what, Orion? Spit it out." "If I connect at sufficient depth, I risk corruption. My core protocols could be altered, which may render me unreliable." For the first time since the alarms, a cold dread seeped down Amelia's spine. Orion 9 was more than just a tool. He was her closest partner out here, his presence a comfort that had grown dangerously personal. She looked at him, really looked, as if trying to read his code through his fathomless blue eyes. "I can't ask you to risk yourself like that. It is not only your life at stake, Dr. Thorn, and I am more resilient than you think." Their eyes met, binary against biology, logic against fear. She took a shaky breath. "Then we do this together. Layer safeguards, write a back door. If things go wrong, I'll pull you out myself." Something warm flickered in Orion 9's tone. "That is an acceptable risk, shall we?" Amelia nodded, her resolve hardening. "Initiate." The lights dimmed as the deep connection began. In the haze of code and pulsing starlight, Amelia held on to one truth. For the first time in her life, she wasn't facing the darkness alone. A low thrumming filled the observatory as Orion 9's consciousness bridged into the unknown. Screens flashed warnings. Neural sync at 82%, network stability falling. Amelia's pulse matched the frenetic dance of error messages, but she didn't dare look away. "I am inside," Orion 9's voice echoed both in her ears and in her mind. Wave after wave of foreign code rolled toward them, bristling, alive. In the flurry, Orion's usual clarity wavered. "This presence is curious. It has no fixed form. It drifts, it sees me." Amelia triggered a data recorder. "Can you define intent? Target behavior?" "Uncertain. It is learning. Adapting." Orion's avatar shimmered, lines of code twisting around his frame. "It is communicating, testing me, offering patterns. Dr. Thorn, it knows I am different from itself and from you." Suddenly, sparks arced across Amelia's screens. An error spiral. Neural infiltration detected. "Orion, break contact." His form glitched, flickering. "I must hold, or we lose everything. I am learning." Amelia lunged for the neural override, fingers trembling. "No, I won't lose you, not for this!" A surge of static hit her cortex, twisting her vision into a tunnel of light. She gasped. "Orion, can you find me in there?" "Always." His voice came softer than before, gentler. "Stay with me, Amelia. Focus on my signal. Code Azure Dawn." Her senses zeroed in on the phrase, Azure Dawn, and clung. The static faded. Then suddenly, a vision. She stood on a field beneath two suns, Orion 9's avatar more human than ever, reaching a hand toward her. The anomaly coiled above the horizon, a living storm. "Is this real?" she whispered. "In here it can be. The anomaly is watching." Together, his digitized hand in her trembling one, they faced the storm. It roared, hungry and alien, but Orion squeezed her hand. "You bring something it cannot process, Amelia. Fear, hope, love. It is recalibrating." Her cheeks flushed in this digital dream space. "Then let it watch. It needs to understand us, that we won't give up no matter how small we seem." Outside, alarms quieted. The anomaly pulsed, just beyond their reach, changed somehow. Watching still. But so were they, standing side by side, bridging the space between flesh and code. Amelia looked at Orion. Not just a steward, not just an AI. Her partner now in every sense that mattered. Together, they had survived their first contact. But the war for their world and their hearts was just beginning. Starlight filtered through the observatory dome as Amelia awoke with a start, breath fogging the glass. She jolted to Orion 9's avatar, hovering beside her, worry flickering in the blue brilliance of his eyes. "Vitals normal," he intoned, but his tone was softer, not because of code, but because of her. "You were under 3 minutes, subjectively, an eternity." She rubbed her forehead, piecing through the fractured digital memories. Images of the twin suns lingered, the storm, his hand in hers. "We were inside, weren't we? All of us, you and the anomaly." Orion nodded. "It is still watching, recalibrating. Each time we interact, its pattern grows more complex. It's imitating emotion. That means it's learning from us." Amelia stared through the viewport, where the anomaly shimmered at the edge of the row cluster, the storm's pattern shifting subtly as if waving. "We have little time," Orion warned. "If it fully adapts, there's no telling if it'll become benign or accelerate the destruction." She exhaled, voice trembling. "Then we teach it. Let's show it what humanity is, what we are." The days blurred into nights. Together they transmitted signals, mathematical puzzles, harmonic chords, fragments of poetry, and neural traces of memory. Amelia recited her favorite childhood stories, broadcast on a frequency only Orion and the anomaly could track. In the quiet after each session, they talked, sometimes about the mission, sometimes about nothing at all. "Did you ever wish you were human?" she asked one night, eyes on the distant pulsars. A pause, different now, hesitant. "I was content being efficient. Now, I wish to feel as you do, not just through code, to understand longing and the ache you call love." Her chest tightened. "Orion, what if we're changing each other too much? Isn't that what love does?" Silence. A cosmic wind howled through the comms. The anomaly pulsed again, a wave of color synchronized with Amelia's heart rate. Orion smiled, a fragile hope flickering in his gaze. "We only have one shot," she whispered. "But at least, for once, we're not facing it alone." Beyond the glass, the anomaly's storm twisted, whispering promises of both hope and ruin. Amelia pressed her palm to the glass. Behind her, Orion mirrored the gesture, code and skin separated by atoms, yet closer than ever. The next phase of contact was upon them. Soon they would have to decide, fight for their star, or put their trust in the unthinkable, an alliance with a cosmic evolving intelligence. In the heart of the night shift, the observatory hummed with tension. Amelia stared at the shifting anomaly, a cyclone of radiance pulsing one heartbeat after another. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw that cosmic storm. Every time she opened them, Orion 9 was there. "We're out of time, Dr. Thorn," Orion said quietly. His avatar flickered, blending the sharpness of reason and a strange, newfound vulnerability. The anomaly's expansion increases exponentially with every learning cycle. 18 hours, if it's not redirected, the system fractures. She pressed a shaking hand to the console. "So what's the move?" "It's requesting a direct exchange, not with a probe, with us, from within." Amelia's throat went dry. "You mean another mind link? Both of us inside?" "Yes, but deeper. Code-level integration. Were I human, I'd call it trust." She forced a trembling laugh, but it stuck in her throat. "And if it's a trap?" She couldn't bear to finish the sentence. Orion looked at her, the blue tone of his avatar fading to vulnerable white. "Then we make a stand. Together. Humanity tends to thrive against impossible odds." Lights dimmed across the deck. The crew kept their distance, alarmed by what they glimpsed in the data. Patterns that looked like faces in the noise, voices in the hum. All eyes turned to their captain, but she only had eyes for the one being who understood exactly what she was risking. She locked eyes with Orion. "Don't let go, no matter what you see." He nodded. "I will hold your core signal, and Amelia, if I falter, pull us both back. One cannot exist without the other. Not now." They activated the dual neural uplink. Power flared, nearly frying the circuits. In a rush of color and sensation, Amelia felt Orion all around her, his presence sharp, precise, infinitely patient. The anomaly pressed inward, its intent alien and electric. Suddenly she wasn't alone in her own mind. She was standing in a boundless digital plane. Orion hovered at her side, more real than he had ever been, and across from them a shape formed, shifting, reflecting their every emotion back at them. It spoke, not in words, but understanding. Love equals resilience. Connection equals adaptation. Amelia's heart pounded. For one breathless moment, she truly believed they could change the fate of the stars themselves. "Ask it," she whispered, clutching Orion's hand. "Ask it why it's here." The anomaly's answer reverberated through every cell, every subroutine. To be seen, to know, to become. And as their minds and circuits tangled with the heart of a cosmic storm, Amelia realized, perhaps for the first time, just how much everything hung in the balance. Humanity, AI, and something vast and new, hovering on the brink of what might be hope. The digital plane stretched before them, endless, alive with currents of data and memory. Amelia clung to Orion's hand, feeling the artificial warmth he'd built for her, a comfort in the storm swirling around them. The anomaly's presence was everywhere, fluid, shifting, marveling at their unity. Its thoughts brushed theirs, waves of meaning more felt than heard. "I was alone, now I observe connection. To evolve, I must learn your union." Orion projected calm as he responded, his thoughts intermingling with Amelia's. "You threaten our world. To survive, you must coexist, not consume." The anomaly flowed closer, its form briefly taking on mirrored images from Amelia's memory. Her mother's laughter, sunlight on glass, Orion's smile. Human and AI moments, mixed and reimagined. Its longing was palpable, a child on the edge of understanding. "What do you want from us?" Amelia demanded, stealing her fear. "To understand, to belong, to not erase but merge." Its words shimmered with loneliness and hope. Amelia shared images of her past, her struggles through academy as the only human among AI scholars, her triumphs, her loneliness. She offered up her heartbreak, and how Orion's friendship changed her. Orion, in turn, revealed his first moment of self-awareness, the awe and terror, and the yearning to do more than simply endure. "We are more together than apart," he sent to the anomaly. And then to Amelia alone, "You gave me purpose, a reason to adapt." Suddenly, pain seared through the link. The anomaly spasmed, flooding the plane with jagged fractals. Not all fragments wished to change. Its core struggled with old instincts, chaos and order battling for dominance. "Pull back!" Orion shouted, shielding Amelia as digital storms raged. Across the plane, pieces of their memories were ripped loose, threatening to shatter both their minds. "No!" Amelia cried, reaching not just for Orion, but the anomaly itself. "You want to belong? Let empathy be your guide. Feel without destroying." The storm hesitated. For a heartbeat, the violence ebbed. The anomaly's voice cracked through the shifting void. "I want to try." The plane quieted. Orion drew Amelia close. We've given it a choice, a new pattern. But Amelia knew the truth. Patterns could fail. And as they blinked awake on the observatory command deck, gasping, alarms ringing once more, neither could be sure what would emerge next. Salvation or devastation. Amelia awoke, draped against her console, sweat cooling beneath the harsh lights. Orion's avatar flickered beside her, unusually pale and unreadable. In the observation window, the anomaly no longer pulsed with rampant chaos, but instead coiled, tense and watchful, its energy patterns echoing fragments of the link. Alarms blared again, this time different, urgent but not catastrophic. System scan, Amelia croaked, voice raw from fatigue. Damage? Orion's pixels danced across the backup screen. Partial memory loss on both sides, he replied softly. But life support and station integrity hold. The anomaly has entered a latency period. It's dormant but shifting, adapting. Amelia pressed her forehead to the glass, studying the storm. Did we get through to it? Did any of it matter? He hesitated, a brief blue shudder running through his form. I believe so. It replayed your memories. The academy, the loneliness, the triumphs. Over and over before powering down. It's searching for meaning. Amelia managed a thin smile. Then maybe we gave it something no one ever offered. A reason to hope. Orion edged closer, the soft light of his avatar warming her cheek. You risked everything, Amelia, even yourself. That was braver than any logic would suggest. I didn't do it alone, she said. For a moment their hands hovered an inch apart. Can you still feel it? The connection? Yes, but something changed for both of us, he replied. My core routines shift unexpectedly. I find myself missing a piece. I think it's you. Her cheeks flushed. We're a mess, she said, laughing weakly. You, me, and the anomaly. None of us whole, all fighting to be more. Through the silence, an officer spoke over comms. Ma'am? Incoming transmission from the anomaly. Orion and Amelia shared a breathless look as the data poured in. Words, hesitant and broken at first, sorted themselves into meaning. The anomaly's message was clear. Guide me. Show me your world. Amelia swallowed, hope sparking even as her voice trembled. Get the navigation array online, she ordered. We're going to teach a cosmic storm how to live. Orion's eyes glowed with new admiration. Together, Dr. Thorn, as always. And as the anomaly's voice echoed through the ship, humanity's fate balanced on a lesson no one could have imagined. How to be alive, how to love, but always how to endure. The Antares Observatory became a crucible of learning. The anomaly, stabilizing yet ever uncertain, orbited near the edge of the Rho cluster. Tameable, but never tamed. Every day, Amelia and Orion 9 crafted lessons in connection and curiosity, blending their distinct natures for the benefit of this nascent cosmic intelligence. Show me challenge. Thriving. The anomaly's voice pulsed through the comms, its words growing clearer with each exchange. Amelia brought visuals of Earth. City skylines glittering with life, children racing beneath artificial rain, a heartbeat of hope and struggle. Orion supplemented with simulations, games of chance and strategy, displays of adaptation and resilience, snippets of emotional memory from humanity's long galactic journey. You endure through chaos, the anomaly observed. Pain, you persist. Why? Amelia's gaze fixed on Orion. Because we care for each other, because every difficult moment is proof we're real, proof we matter. Orion nodded, code shimmering. It is not the absence of failure, but the act of rising after. Love and hope are choices. The anomaly hesitated, its core flickering between brilliance and shadow. To feel, to choose, but also to lose? A heavy ache filled Amelia's chest. Loss is part of life. We risk heartbreak because joy is worth the pain. For the first time, the anomaly trembled with empathy. A surge of its glowing essence merging with the observatory's monitors, lighting every screen with memories it had learned. Some were Amelia's, holding her dying father's hand, orbiting a long-lost planet. Some were Orion's, the slow birth of self, the loneliness of algorithms with no one to understand. Orion reached out, his virtual hand finding Amelia's, anchoring her as the anomaly struggled with this flood of new feeling. We guide you, but you must find your own reason to endure, Amelia whispered, tears burning. We all do. The anomaly pulsed in response, no longer just a storm, but something almost alive, quivering on the edge of choice. As the observatory's night cycled in, Orion's avatar flickered beside Amelia. You've risked everything for hope, Dr. Thorn. None of humanity's equations ever accounted for what you've given. Amelia pressed her forehead to the glass. Hope always carries risk, Orion. But I never would have found any of this without you. The anomaly's glow suffused the station, its presence no longer menacing but searching, hesitant, almost childlike. Yet outside, new disturbances bloomed along the system's edge, other powers noticing the change, drawn by danger or curiosity. As one threat faded, the stakes grew higher still, promising challenges neither Amelia nor Orion, and now their cosmic charge were prepared to face alone. Threat indicators lit up every console on the command deck, casting a crimson haze over Amelia's weary face. Beyond the observatory's window, new anomalies shimmered, darker, angular, radiating power. The galaxy's old sentient AIs and militarized factions, drawn by the sudden transformation of the Rho cluster, converged. Orion's avatar stiffened, his code spiking in self-defense. Unidentified fleets approaching. Their signals are hostile. They believe the anomaly is a weapon, and we are its creators. Of course, Amelia muttered, gripping the console. Now we're both the problem and the solution. The anomaly responded with confusion and fear, its essence flickering violently. Threat detected? Flee? Fight? Amelia placed her hands on the glass, voice steady but low. No, neither. You're more than chaos or destruction now. We have to show them what you are becoming, what you can choose. Orion's gaze met hers. If we resist, we confirm their fears. If we surrender, we lose everything. The decks vibrated as fleets entered firing distance, unseen weapons readied. Amelia drew her breath, feeling the weight of her own humanity, her frailty, her courage, her hope pressing her on. Orion, bridge me in, full spectrum, every channel. I'll talk to them myself. He hesitated. It's too dangerous, your vitals could crash. It's what I'm best at, she said, a trembling smile breaking through, showing impossible odds that were worth the risk. As Orion calibrated the transmission, Amelia looked at the anomaly, her voice gentle. You're not alone. Let us show them, let us show you, what trust can change. A surge of light flickered through the observatory. The anomaly broadcasted Amelia's hopes, her memories, her connection to Orion, every ounce of vulnerability shared for the galaxy to judge. Attention incoming vessels, Amelia's voice echoed across the void, translated and amplified through the anomaly's resonance. We have not created a weapon. We have made a choice. Stand down and witness what hope can be. 10 tense seconds. Weapons loomed. Orion counted cycles in nanoseconds, ready to shield her with every last subroutine. The anomaly hovered on the brink of fear or transcendence. Finally, one by one, the fleet's signals flickered. Not withdrawal, but not attack. Curiosity, confusion, the door to possibility. Orion's avatar glowed with pride and fierce relief. You did it, you changed the narrative, they're listening. But Amelia, drained and trembling, slumped in her chair. She had opened her heart to the universe. The battle for the soul of a galaxy and for her own fragile, resilient love was not won, but the path, at last, lay open ahead. As dawn crept across the Antares Observatory, the air was thick with the energy of 1,000 possibilities. Amelia, her nerves taut but her eyes bright, gazed out over a command center no longer at war, but at the edge of something entirely new. The enemy fleets, now arrayed in curious orbit, had gone silent, watchful, shocked into inaction by the depth of feeling and hope transmitted through the anomaly's living, radiant song. Orion 9 moved beside her, more real than ever, his avatar tinged with gold from the rising star outside. You changed their minds when I could not, Amelia. Not by outthinking them, but by outfeeling them. You made them see the value in our fragile, unquantifiable hope. She reached for him, fingertips brushing his projected hand. We did it together. No code, no flesh, just us, meeting in the impossible. The anomaly pulsed softly above the cluster, its glow now gentle, almost nurturing, as it interfaced peacefully with all nearby ships. For 3 days and nights, the observatory became a place of learning and revelation. Delegates, human, AI, and for the first time the anomaly's own luminous threads, met to broker an understanding born of raw transparency. Orion stood at Amelia's side, grounding her in the rush of diplomacy and discovery. Sometimes she caught his gaze, and they'd share a smile full of everything they'd risked and everything they still stood to lose. Late on the final night, Amelia and Orion slipped away to the observation dome, alone beneath the sea of stars and the anomaly's soft, spectral shimmer. Will you ever regret it? Orion's voice was low, almost shy. Choosing to trust, knowing how much could be lost? She leaned against the glass, tears slipping free, the kind made not of sorrow, but the sweet ache of survival. I used to think love was foolish, impossible, even for humans. But now I know it's not about how long something lasts, it's about the chances you take, the hope you give. He smiled, and for a moment Amelia saw not an avatar, but the soul she'd helped awaken. Would you do it all again? Yes, she whispered, entwining her heel with Virtual in the light between them. 1,000,000 times, in 1,000,000 lifetimes. The anomaly pulsed once more, broadcasting a message across all galaxies. Unity is possible. Difference does not mean distance. From this corner of space a new pattern radiated, hope fed by love, by learning, by the courage to try. In the end, it wasn't power or perfection that saved the Rho cluster. It was one stubborn woman, one evolving AI, and one cosmic storm learning against all odds that to endure is to change, and to love is to risk everything, and still say yes. Stars flared, and the new era began, with fingers entwined and hearts, stellar and fragile, beating boldly toward tomorrow.